Here is there you go, chicken. Love it. All right, so welcome guys to the next episode. And if you missed the preamble, I don't know what you guys are doing because the preamble is just the best part of the show. Alex, let me drop down my my screen in a minute. But really quickly, I'm looking for an ENA trade. All right. So the first area for possible bounce, what is 0.38? All right. Percent Fibonacci.
It didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. And well, the next one it was the 0.5. And of course, the next one it is 0.6. Yesterday I mentioned one it is most important than the other. So how do we know, right? Well, we know because we're gonna be looking for that flip of the ribbon right down here, and then well at that button when we start seeing that that thing getting thick and then start turning around, we're gonna be just looking at where we are at. All right, so is as easy as that. I'm looking at somewhere in between the zero point 0.5 and the golden pocket because that's where we have our dynamic reactor unless dynamic reactor starts doing something like that and the price action just do something like this. All right, so looking for that on a 4 hours. We might have an entry tomorrow. All right, so this is going to be a several hours trade. Set your alerts. You've been warned since one day before. All right, so I'm looking for an ENA trade. So other than that, just want to give you guys this heads up before we move on. And Alex, how was your morning? I was not able to make it to your show today. Very sorry. But I just had to have those 5 more minutes of sleep. But let me know how it went.
Really well, man. Really well. Yeah. So obviously we had inflation data come out this morning. A little bit of a fake out, dump and pump. So we're topping out right now, and like we're in a very critical area for Bitcoin right now. It's either make or break. So in an environment like this, it's important to pay yourself. Okay. So I've taken 3 trades today. 4 trades today, sorry. And all 4 of those trades that I've been in and out quick trades. I'm up. How much am I up right now? 350, 155, almost $700. Okay. But they've been quick trades. So the thing is here, right? When you have news and you have a catalyst like that, you have to participate safely, like I always say to you guys. Okay. So like coming in this morning, we had the trapping late longs. Okay. So everybody's like, oh, inflation data is going to be great, right? The data comes out, it fakes them out, and then it absolutely dumped. Like within half a second. I don't even know. It was really quick. Let me go a 5-second chart here. Guys, look how fast this happened. 1, 2, 3. 15 seconds. It dumped 1.5%. Okay. Pretty fast. Okay. Pretty fast. Now, you know me, I got long here and I got out here. Just quick, 350, bang, right? Whenever there's news, you always just pay yourself, man. Like if you get direction right, pay yourself, right? So took that 350 out of the market and then had a couple of other opportunities. So when looking at this, I do believe I took a continuation long here. I'd have to recheck, but I took a continuation long here. And it was up a little bit. And then I came back and it stopped me out. Break even, right? That's that $19 trade. Now we come down in here. Okay. Now my strategy, I should have been long here, but obviously I'm letting the news kind of bake this morning. So Doji engulfing at a critical volume support level, something I typically long. Okay, I didn't. I let it materialize a little bit more because right here it's 9:15. Right, we're coming into market open. It's a little bit more of a riskier trade to take. Okay, so once we open though the market here, right, we get the orb low. and we got VWAP here. So VWAP's right. We're chopping the WAP, as I say. So what happens is price pushes above the VWAP here. Okay. But I'm still waiting because NASDAQ was dumping. So the NASDAQ was dumping here at market open. Okay, so here's your market open on NASDAQ. It's dumping. So this tells me to look for a pullback on Bitcoin, okay? Because Bitcoin is leveraged NASDAQ. So I'm looking for a pullback on Bitcoin. Going back over to my other chart. So we're looking for a pullback. So a good pullback is coming back within this range. And then, so I'm looking for a pullback, but I also know VWAP's in my way. So for me, I want to see VWAP claimed, okay? So I do get long on the momentum push back in here, and I get out pretty aggressively. Now, I did take a very heavy trade here because my stop loss was really tight, and I should have held it, okay? So I should have held it. This would have been probably like an $800 trade. Easy, because I hammered this trade. I didn't wait. I made $180 on this trade. Okay, so a little bit of patience could have made me a lot more money, but like I said, in this environment, take the money and run. So that was my trading in the morning on Bitcoin live with everybody. So very well executed, I think, considering what we had to work with and considering we were trading news data. Going over to Solana here, what we can see is I would look for a little leverage long here on Solana. Solana faked out. So VWAP bounce right here on Bitcoin. So I use Bitcoin for Confluence on Solana. So 1021 here. You go over to Solana. We go 1021 here. Okay, so I took this Solana long here, and you can see VWAP. We didn't touch it on Solana. We have just done it now. Okay, but I took the bounce on Bitcoin on a Solana trade. So I took the long here, and I took it up to the lows of this range here. And I made $170, okay? Looking for Solana to run. Obviously it didn't, came back, stopped me out, made $170. So just a little insight to like my trading morning and how I trade. Very small moves, very aggressive take profits. Okay, bouncing off VWAP here, but putting it all together, right? I came in this morning, I saw the fake out. I recognized the fake out. I did not trade the long here, which was good restraint. Okay, I let the news come in, saw the fake out, and then the dump. The dump held the support level and my buy level. I bought it. It pumped up. I paid myself. Okay. Took another trade in here, managed my risk, got out break even. Was correct about the momentum trade here. Very good recognition on NASDAQ and Bitcoin. Could have held it longer. Didn't. Okay. Very good risk management here, though. So for me, I entered here. I had my stop really tight underneath this low here. I should have been targeting the highs. Okay. Always something to learn. You're never going to trade perfectly. Always something to learn. Okay. Retrace, coming back into orb, looking for VWAP to hold. If VWAP holds, I can go long, which allowed me to long Solana for another $200. Okay. And that's a good day for me, guys. Like I'm cruising now. So very simple analysis, but executed very well. Left a little bit of money on the table here. Managed risk really well in here. Good flip on Solana here. And now we'll see what we get for the rest of the day. Okay, so that's a little detail into how my trading day went. So far, so good. Now, how am I able to make these decisions? That's the thing that I typically like to answer, and that's with top-down analysis, right? Understanding where we are, what we're looking for, how we're trading it, right? So we know we got inflation data today. It came in pretty flat, which is not bullish or bearish, right? So as you can see, we're just chopping in here. Market is heavily manipulated. PPI data came out, right? We pumped. Now we're consolidating. Bart Simpson up at the highs into resistance, okay? So I should be looking for shorts back into this liquidity. However, Everything's pumping right now. So why would we fade a trend that's working, right? We're looking for pullbacks and continuation trades. Okay. Breakout, retest. Okay. If we're looking at a higher term time frame, right? We have what gives me that idea is very simply the daily candle close yesterday. Remember, I was talking to you guys about the daily candle close yesterday. So the daily candle close, as long as it closed above these highs in here and didn't get acceptance back into the range, we should remain bullish. Okay, that's a very simple way of looking at it, right? Because structure will tell you which direction we're going. We rely on structure for many things, but now this is a daily structure, but our 4-hour structure has changed in here. Okay. Now the thing that keeps us bullish is the structure in here, right? We have a string of higher lows all the way through. We finally changed character to the upside with that candle close. Okay, we wouldn't have had this change if we didn't close above here. Okay. And we can see that structure really changed back in here. That's cool. Okay. It started to change. Bottoming structure, go, right? So very important to be able to recognize that. So we confirmed that on the daily. We did not close back within our head and shoulders pattern, right? If we had closed here, that would have been a failure, and we would have looked to get acceptance back into the range. Okay. But we didn't. We pushed out, and then it was getting pretty close last night. Last night, we did come down here. Right? That was a retest of previous highs. That was our entry there. If you wanted to get long, we even retested it to grab the liquidity out of it this morning. Okay? It's easy to see in hindsight. It's, were you ready for that yesterday? And yes, I was, right? Everybody getting a little bit scared here, and then obviously we pushed out of that. But very pathetic price action into that, right? If they're going, you can see how choppy this was, right? Chop, 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 right? So coming into that, right, we're looking for strength. This would be strength out of there, right? Follow through. SFP of the liquidity in the lows here for the late longs, right? Because everybody sees strength here, so they're buying it now. Buying it, buying it, buying it, buying it. Wrecked. Continuation, okay? So, yes, there is liquidity down here. But might I say this is a perfect balloon dog in here, OC? Okay. And continuation onwards and upwards. Okay. So for now, wanting to see the bulls defend this area. And clearly you can see with the wicks, the exhaustion wicks that they are. They're defending it. Which means rotation to higher prices. For me right now, we're coming into a resistance level right now. Major resistance, good volume in here, order block. Okay, so we'll see if we can get through this. If we get through this area here and we flip it, we're going to 116, 117. If we flip it here. If we don't flip it, we're coming for the low. Here first, but the low. Okay? If this, then that. What would Solana do now? So Solana, if we're looking at Solana is very overextended. Right? Solana's had to move up. We're also in our golden pocket retracement level, macro level. Okay, so if we're looking here and we're looking at Solana, we zoom out. Solana has had a beautiful run, right? We have a lot of liquidity on the way up here. I think I have a trend line. This one, right? Looking very strong. We even have this very aggressive trend in here. Okay, that's still holding. Okay, so with Solana, what I'm looking for is just retest of previous highs for now. Okay, a couple alerts down below. Pretty overextended in my opinion. So looking at 220 right here. That would be a nice liquidity sweep. Okay. This is still a breakout retest here. We have an ascending triangle breakout retest. Very choppy though. Okay. Solana's very overextended, right? How do we know that? Well, Solana's Bitcoin pairs, right? We've been talking about this for weeks, but we'll look at it here. Hitting our key level of resistance. So if we look at our Bitcoin chart, we had the accumulation. We told you to long Solana over here back in the breakout. So that would be around August 23rd. Let's go over and take a look at Solana. August 23rd. I remember calling it. I think I posted on Twitter. So I know I have receipts. Boom, boom. Off we go. Okay, so it has led and it has performed really strong. Yeah, so. But where are we into right now? We're into major resistance. Okay, this is a whole different range of price action, right? Obviously, we need to see a support and resistance flip, which takes a little bit more energy. Basically, where Bitcoin is right now. Okay. ETH, look at ETH, a lot different story, right? So if we go to ETH, ETH has been bleeding against Bitcoin for a long time. Okay. ETH needs to try and get up to that 0.5 sat. So it's not even there yet. Okay. Nice recovery. Breakout retest, right? Trying to break out. Okay. But bleeding against Bitcoin, which is okay because if we want Bitcoin and we want altcoin season, everybody, we want to see Bitcoin outperform the market. Bitcoin needs to lead. We want to see Bitcoin lead into a top, just like last run, right? We want to see Bitcoin lead into a top, 140,000. Bitcoin dominance peaks, and we want to see altcoin season. Bitcoin dominance drops, while Bitcoin chops at the top, and we see altcoin season. That's what we're looking for. But we want Bitcoin to lead, which means that Bitcoin will outperform for a little bit, which means dominance will rise. Okay? We're in sticky zone here. This is the sticky zone for dominance. You want to see dominance to retest probably the lows in here and then break down. This will be Bitcoin going to 140,000. This will be altcoin season. If this, then that. Okay? However, the thing is that we do have buy the rumor, sell the news events coming up, right? So we have the 17th that we need to be very concerned about. Rate cuts, monetary policy, stimulation versus panic cutting. Jobs are weak. Inflation is pretty flat. Not great, not bad, just flat. But jobs are horrible. So is it a buy the rumor, sell the news, and then we go? I can't tell you, but that's what I would expect. Okay? So be prepared for that. Oh, Steve, what's going on, man?
No, nothing. Do I have to work now?
Oh
Nice.
no, I'm sorry, bro. You
Oh.
can go and take the rest go work on your latte penises that you're drawing.
Love it. All right, sure, absolutely. When you come to visit, you're
Okay,
gonna be the
good.
first one to get a
I'm
huge
working on
one.
them too. Okay.
You're
As
also
long as
working on
it's in a
them.
strong position.
Love it, love it. What was that I saw my new here? Also being chilling. Oh, absolutely. I've been enjoying. I've been eating my croissant, my croissant. I'm trying to learn
Croissant.
French.
Tu parles français?
Croissant. Not at all. Not even close. But I just got Duolingo. I'm trying
Tu
to
ne parles
pick up.
français bien.
Why do I speak? Do you speak French
You
good? Right?
you don't speak French well. Tu ne parles français bien.
Nice.
Tu ne parles français. Right? You don't speak.
Love it. No, I don't at all. But I just got started.
Un petit mot, so a little bit, right? Un petit mot. I was
Uh,
in French immersion for years, bro. So
love it. Nice.
a little bit.
A little bit. Love it. Love it. So maybe you can also maybe give me a hand with my French and my English when we meet up.
Okay.
All right. So
And I'll speak chica bonita, Spanish.
oh
Hey,
yeah.
chica.
And I pay up with coffee, man. I'll pay up with coffee.
All right, good.
Love it, love it. All right, so I also saw a couple of things in here that I want to go over. Trade View Dare 21, or the Revinder 21. Not sure how to pronounce that. What would Solana do now? Did you win over Solana, Alex? I think you did, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right, so let me just touch a little bit on it because I also see another follow-up question, which is, hey, so it's not good to short now. Well, that depends on Solana, what Solana does. And let me explain a little bit on the process of trading because I think that that might be a little bit of what you might be missing out, right? Based on your question. I mean, I might be incorrectly guessing. You let me know, right? I'm just trying to help in here, give my little grain of salt. So far, we're getting to an area of resistance. In fact, this is my, hey, come take a look at the charts alert because we might have or we are going to be impacting into a resistance zone. All right. So a 229.12, that is actually when I'm planning to take most of my profits or basically the rest of my profits because I'm still 25% into this trade. All right. I already have taken 70% out, 70 something out, right? And that is because as it grows, it also increments its value. So it's not like exact 25% in, it's a little bit more. Nonetheless, right here, I'm looking for a resistance. All right, so let's go check that out. So what kind of a resistance? Let me bring up, oh, come on. There you go, my predictive range, all right? And usually on these predictive ranges, on the purple line, we overshoot just a little bit, and then we have a big retracement. So what else am I looking for here? Well, for beginners, I'm looking for something like a flip of the ribbon, right? So right here, and let's draw that line, okay, a vertical line, right here. Do I actually have a flip of the ribbon? Not really. I'm flat out, all right? And another couple of stuff like, am I above or below the zero line? I'm above the zero line, so I'm still positive, right? So I'm not quite there yet with a short. What else do I have? My volume matrix, for example, right here. How's my volume matrix looking? Not too shabby. It's neutral, just like my oscillator. Do I have a bearish divergence? Yes, which is not good, but it's not that bad, right? And then, well, a peak seeker. A peak seeker, it's kind of like a confluence point or a confluence point. How do you say that, Alex? Confluence or confluence?
I say confluence.
Perfect. There we go. Confluence. I like it better. Way better.
Confluence. It sounds so American, man.
All right. Perfect. So confluence. There you go. And right here also I can roll my R, right? So we also have a confluence indicator, right? So how does this work? This is kind of like a, hey, how is the rest of your analysis, all right? If your analysis is bearish, right, this is adding to your bearish analysis, right? If your analysis is neutral, it is not adding to it. If your analysis is bullish, it is not adding to your analysis, right? Very important. This is giving you a look at that. Like, for example, at the top flip of the ribbon, you see that? Big dump, right? Flip of the ribbon, and again, flip of the ribbon, and slightly before or afterwards, we have a peak seeker. That is kind of like a dead guy that pushes you over the cliff, right? So you're balancing out, you're dropping down, and then he comes and, hey, come on, bro. You can do that, right? So it pushes you over. But it only works or works the best, right, when you already have a preamble analysis. So right now, we're neutral. So this is not really adding to it. Yes, we have some confluence, but we don't have that tipping point right now. So if that makes sense, right? Another important thing would be your money flow. How's your money flow? How much money or how is that money rushing into the asset, right? So quick question, right? And I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that. And I will say that because English is not my main language. You already have realized that, right? So I just don't want to sound rude or anything like that, right? But how would you short something, right, when you do have influx of money, right? So the influx of money, it's either ranging but for a sustained influx, all right, or rising for a rush in influx of money, right? So coming back to when would you short the Solana? Well, first of all, let's just go and do something that simple, right? 3 points of conflicts. And this is when I bring up one of my oldest strategy, the 3-letter strategy. So the first one, I want to have one or two things on my chart. So first of all, do I have a support resistance? Yes, I have one resistance. All right. So do I have anything else? Not really. Not really. Not really. Not really. No, not really. FIVP. Well, I do have a possible target. So maybe in here a little bit. All right. So far, two, and those two are predictive, not reactive. All right. What else could I be maybe having liquidations? For example, let's bring up liquidations. Hey, where would it make sense to get all the way to liquidations? Well, if I just get this out of the way, let me hide this. Well, we have an area of liquidations, 2 bright spots right there. All right, so maybe another one. Perfect. So far, do I have some confluence right up in here? Yes, I do. All right, perfect. That's step number 1. Then you want something, right, that confirms or deny that part. So what would that be? Well, you can use, for example, your reversals. It's been a long time since I don't bring the reversals up, but you can use them in here on your Market Oracle Pro. And let me add it just so you can see it. So in the invite only, you can do your market. Where is it? Oh, come on, Market Oracle Pro Plus or just Pro. All right. And at that point, all right, we can just go ahead and go over here and turn on reversals. And someone's at my door. They will have to wait and turn that on. All right, let's go check those reversals for a second. Oh, look at that. Good reversal. So far, we don't have any other reversal. Perfect. That is fine. This is just an added layer to it. All right. So finally, I want something, at least 2 things right down here on my oscillator. Why? Why is an oscillator so important? The oscillator, it is what I call or fits within my definition of a leading indicator. Might be different of what you have read on internet, all right? And why is that? Well, the oscillator is not a predictive indicator, but reads basically strong data, all right? That strong data print works on every time frame. OC guide, Market Pro reversals. Yes, it not only works on every time frame, it also adjusts its patterns or structure for every time frame. It's a constant scanner. It's like a radar, right? So the reversals, just to add to it, it's a radar. It's constantly scanning, and when you have, hey, maybe we'll have some liquidity pullback. Hey, we're getting closer to our reversal, right? Sorry, to our resistance. And hey, we have enough push up for a pullback, right? When you see, when this catches all of these factors, it posts you, hey, possible reversal. Because all of the factors are there, right? We have 3 kinds of reversals, just so you know. Full reversals, breakout retest, and continuation, and fake out reversals. You can learn that on video number 1. But skipping through that, and thank you as always, JaggedDT, having that additional content class for reversals. Love it. Thank you, my friend. So I will be looking for stuff in here. Like what? Like, for example, I already have my flip of the ribbon. It's been already happened. And did we have a retracement? Yes, not big enough. But then what is going to be the point of no return is losing the momentum. What shows momentum on my chart? On my charts, the ribbon shows momentum. So if for some reason I cross over, that is my no return point. And I guarantee you that we're going to be doing this. Not only that, let me quote Alex out Crypto. Nothing beats a jet to holiday, right?
Good
No, just
trend
kidding.
line.
And nothing beats a good trend line. Exactly. So, do you have your trend line? And let me ask you a question that is not being taught out there, but it's just so that simple, right? That it should be the very first thing that you learn while trading. When is the trend over? How do you measure a trend? And the answer should be like within 2 or 3 words, right? And exactly, there you go. Break off the trend line because it's them implied. What is the dedicated tool invented for measuring trends? trend line. So when you break the trend line, you are breaking the trend, right? So first, well, the next thing will be, hey, I'm breaking the trend line. Perfect. Hey, ding, 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 ding. This is your first alert. Okay, then what are you gonna be looking at? Hey, did I reverse on a resistance? Yes. All right, that's your second alert. Hey, am I crossing over here? Yes, your third alert. And hey, how's my money flow? Is teaching. Oh, perfect. Let's maybe just wait for the pullback, break a retest, create your lower high. That is your entry, and off you go. So, answering your question, the simplest way that I could possibly answer: where do you short? You short because you start having those alerts, right? So those warnings in the market. Right now we have two of those. And then you short on your confirmation. What is your first confirmation? Your first confirmation is the breakout of your trend line. Your second confirmation is going to be the retest and creation of a lower high. And how do you understand that it's going to be long lasting? Because of your indicators, right? Because you're losing volume, because your momentum is not there, so you're dropping below the zero line, because your money flow is turning back below, right? Because of your power bar, it is giving you an alert for reversal, so on and so forth, right? So that is the concentrated version on where do you short Solana, right? I just want to go over it because it is a recurring question and it's a very interesting question, right? How do you make trading easy? Like, how do you define the actual entry? And it's just a matter of confluence, right? What is confluence? Just looking at different things, adding on the same point. Very important caveat. This only adds to the chances for this to reverse. Nothing is 100% in the markets, right? And there's also manipulated market or manipulation in the market. So how do you account for that? With a stop loss. So that is what I got. I see one more question here. When trend lines break, should print reversal? No, it's not the same. They're not related. Because reversals, they look for trend disparity, they look for resistances, they look for many other things. All right. So it's not uh although that would be an interesting idea for an indicator, a dead sample one. I mean, you might be onto something. Let me pitch that to the developers, bro. Great, actually, great question, eh? Great question, love it. But the answer is no. The reversals are not part of a trend line. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let me talk to them. Let me talk to them. Let's see what we can do. Maybe that could be a good simple idea. Which simple is always better. So hopefully that has cleared up a couple of your questions. Because that's a recurring question. I think that's a very interesting one, right? So just wanted to add to it. And Alex, do you have anything else that you would like to add before we go? Although you already have worked the full hour.
I mean, Solana doesn't care. Solana keeps pushing. Bitcoin staying within the range, rolling over a little bit, but just range bound right now. So Solana looks strong. AVAX still looks strong. HBAR looks like it wants to bounce. Aerodrome back in action, looking strong again. Coinbase, right? So clearly some bullish catalysts here going on. Even gaming like Beam looking okay right now. So choose wisely. Use good risk management. Narratives are important this run, so be patient. Right now you can see like things like Pith, Link, AVAX, right? All things to keep in mind, right? But
Linked 800.
patience.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I got an appointment, so I got to get going. But thank you guys for being here, and we will see you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much for joining. As Alex says, see you guys tomorrow. Don't miss out tomorrow's class.